Damn! Okay, well, that all escalated rather quickly. Welcome back to Jessica Jones Reviews. This is episode 10. What the fuck was episode called? AKA 1,000 Cuts. Holy shit, that happened in this episode too, huh? Another case of how do they keep fitting all this shit in one episode? Whew. Well, that was an appropriate follow-up to last episode. Yeah, that was really good. I'm not quite sure where to start, because I feel like, especially in the last few episodes, it just crammed so many, everything that, it's all coming together finally. And there are just so many plots that are going on, and so many things are finally, coming together. Now it's kind of like, whew, shit, this is all happening rather fast, and yet, somehow it still doesn't feel forced. It feels like this is just the natural accumulation of everything they've been saying up to this point. So as annoyed as I've been with some of the setup to this point, it's had really good payoff, with one exception. I have to talk about it. It's my only really negative part of this episode / show. Sorry, I saw something. Anyway. Okay. So, really briefly try to go to the synopsis episode. Kilgrave is on the run, and pretty much everything I said in the last episode pretty much immediately came back in this episode, because right off the bat, Kilgrave catches Hogarth trying to drive away, but he stops her, quickly jumps in her car, and makes her take her to the nearest doctor that she trusts, which of course is her ex-wife. And then Kilgrave forces her to heal him, of course, and then when she thinks that Jessica Jones has tracked her down, because at this point, it's been revealed that Hogarth was the one that Kilgrave made a deal with to basically make it so that he could escape. And Jessica Jones immediately figures it out. She's not stupid, and like I said, she used process elimination, so it's really easy to figure out. So she's kind of playing along with it. Meanwhile, figuring out where she is, and she goes track Hogarth down. Meanwhile, Kilgrave, who's knocking on the door, panics, flees to escape, and meanwhile tells Hogarth's ex to give Hogarth, what does she call it? The death of 1,000 cuts, in the literal sense. So it's basically her trying to slowly cut Hogarth to death, which is really fucking brutal. Meanwhile, Nuke has gone full Nuke, and Trex goes to where Kilgrave is hidden, finds out where they're trying to build the vaccine. Oh yeah, it turns out that, according to Hogarth's dad, that turns out Hogarth is basically, not Hogarth, Kilgrave's dad, that Kilgrave's actually a virus, and that they can make an antidote for it now that it turns out that Jessica Jones is immune to his powers now. So he and Trish go off to do that. Meanwhile, Nuke has gone to the old prison, finds the detective is still there, because he's the only one left, finds out where they live, finds out where they went, immediately kills the detective, because at this point he's amped up whatever the fuck was in those pills. So Nuke has gone full bad guy at this point. He's got a cool walking away, macho man, fire in the background shot. Actually looks really cool. I'm honestly really high energy, because my god, this episode just has, this feels like an accumulation of everything that's been building this far. And 90% of it works. Because, again, I have to talk about... before I get to the end of the episode, I gotta talk about what brings it to the end of the episode, and okay, this is what, I've been tolerant. This is the one character from the game that's okay, this character's gonna piss me off, and big shock, she still fucking does. Robin needs to fucking die. I'm sorry, I hate that goddamn character. She's just screechy, annoying bitch face who's only there to be the annoying bitch face. They keep trying to make her sympathetic, or you want to vote for her, but goddamn it, I hate her so much. She's such a likable human being, and it just feels like that's her only reason for being in this show, was just to be the obnoxious human being, which is disappointing, because almost everyone else in the show, except maybe for her brother, but he was there just to be a red shirt, has been given some amount of depth and some amount of complexity and some amount of interest, and we have this character has none of that. She's so obnoxious, so annoying, and she's just there to cause trouble. She's the MacGuffin character. She's only there so, Kilgrave can escape again after Kilgrave honestly makes the dumbass decision to go to Jessica's apartment, which is a great scene between the two of them, but naturally, after it's revealed that Hope is going to be released within a day, Jessica knocks her out. And there's a great scene with that. It's an amazing scene. It's a fantastic scene. But I'm going to bitch about Robin for a few more minutes because I really fucking hate this character. But Robin's character in this one, she finds out that Ruben was killed and they cover it up. And so she decides to get all angry and all self-righteous. And she goes over to the support group. And it's like, this fucking came out of nowhere. Where suddenly just everyone is really bitter and really angry, and everyone's like really bitter against Jessica Jones all of a sudden, and they all decide to go after her like a fucking witch hunt, incited by Robin, and that makes questionable sense. I'm not gonna say it doesn't make any sense. It's questionable sense. You can debate it. But at the same time, the way it's so stupid. It was such a stupid character. It's like I get the point. I get why he was there, but you couldn't come with a better way to do it. You had to do a stupid nonsense bullshit. Sorry, I really fucking hate this character. Like, of all the characters I'm in this show, this one felt like the most useless, the most unnecessary. It's like, you could have... There had to be a better way to do this. There had to be a better way to do this. There had to be a better way to let Kilgrave go. And so he can set up what was eventually a much better scene, like, kind of an ultimatum scene, when he kidnaps Hope and he kidnaps basically members of the support group, including Malcolm, which is the only reason I was invested in A1 on those... one of those, because I like Malcolm. Malcolm's a good guy. But, before I get to that, I gotta talk about this. Now that I've talked about a scene that I hate, I gotta talk about a scene that I loved. And again, it talks back into the... And I know I said this a million times, but at the same time, you have to talk about it, because it is such an important theme of the show. Yeah, there is a scene in this, and I think a lot of people have cited this scene when they talk about, like, the abusive relationship metaphor for the show. And for good reason. It's incredible, and it's insane how fucking accurate it is. Based on what I know about the subject. If anyone's been through this and can, like, is willing to relate it, I would love to hear your perspective. Well, not love. You get the idea. I would like to see your input. Like, to speak for the accuracy of the scene. But during the second to last encounter between Kilgrave and Jessica Jones in this episode, Kilgrave is... Well, I was a little disappointed that it turns out Kilgrave was, in fact... saying that she had a choice because he learned a long time ago that she was no longer in his power. A little disappointed by that, but it made up for the fact that he's still utterly convinced that she is in love with him, that she is the one for him, and that they're going to be together eventually, if not now. That absolutely 100% convinced that she's in love with him. And the reason they show that is because he remembers, by his exact count, 18 seconds. Like in a rooftop back when she was mind warped, and she says 18 seconds. He didn't tell her anything, and she kissed him. And she is convinced because of those. He is convinced because of those 18 seconds that she's in love with him, even though she doesn't want to admit it. And the brilliant part of this scene, it's absolutely brilliant. I love that the show can do this. I think that's why I fell in love with the show much. It's willing to do so much that I don't think any other superhero project I've ever seen has been willing to do. And it's tackles subjects like this. And this, I have a larger point to make, but I'll get to that in a bit. When she thinks back to the same events, like, yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. I remember vividly, because I remember it was my only chance to escape. So we see that same exact scene again, except with some added stuff added to it, as she reveals that she only did that because she saw it as the only opportunity to free herself from this prison. Because as soon as she does... damn it. Sorry, I something popped up on Facebook. But anyway, but we see it through her perspective, and it's very clear that she is a prisoner. She's still a prisoner, and it's very clear from the way she talks, the way she moves, everything that she does speaks of just the abusive victim mentality of, I am in a prison, I need to get out of this, but I am held captive. I can't do anything. I have this one shot, I have to take it. And right before she jumps off the roof of the building, Kilgrave stops her, and then kind of gives her a test just to make sure that she's still under his control by making her cut behind her ear. But even then, the way he goes about this is just so fucking accurate from everything I know about this topic, and it's fucking scary. It's really kind of startling to see how accurately it's portrayed in this, because immediately after he calls her down from the roof, he starts verbally berating her, telling her how lousy she is, how worthless she is, and is like, if you can't listen, then you don't deserve ears, so cut your ears off. And immediately she starts doing this. She goes, okay, stop that. You can still listen. Okay, hey, don't do that. I love you, baby. Like, I love you. I love you. She like immediately goes back to the affirmations, and it's like so much of what I know and the stories I've been told, and honestly, kind of my own experiences with it in my childhood, I should say. Even then, I've been very blessed, and I've never had an abusive relationship, although honestly, my last one might have kind of been on the border. But, thank that one didn't last very long. But, at the same time, it's just like, this is so accurate to how these people's minds work, and how victims continuously relapse to these people because of that. It's remarkable that a superhero show nonetheless, is willing to capture these moments and do it so perfectly. That one was amazing. The finale scene with her and Kilgrave, when they're in the restaurant, and Kilgrave has some of these support people like hanging on nooses as like a backup in case Kilgrave tries just in case Jessica tries anything, and how like the vaccine seemingly doesn't work. I'm not convinced they're trying to hold us over for a twist on that one. Like, he's just playing along. But anyway, towards the end of the episode, Kilgrave is an ultimatum. I have hope. You have my dad. Let's make a trade. Because at this point, Kilgrave is not after Jessica anymore. I think he's kind of realized that's a lost cause, even though he still believes that she's in love with her. Oh, that was the larger point I forgot to make. I'm sorry, I'll come back to this scene in a bit. But this larger point I wanted to make is when people say that the superhero genre is wearing thin, or it's getting old, or it's like fading into the ether, I want to show them stuff like this, and I want to say, like, clearly we're not done testing the boundaries of what we can do with this genre. It's like any other genre in movies or television. Like, you can make a million westerns, but it doesn't mean you can't come across a western that does something completely different with the genre. That it does something new, does something interesting. Like, I don't care how many times a genre has been done before, there is always something new or something interesting you can do with it. Like, we get a million action movies a year, and yet we just got Mad Max last year that is now nominated for Best Picture, and yet no one's bitching that action movies are going out of style because it did something different with it. We see examples every year, and yet for some reason, superhero movies right now are getting the blunt end of this. And I'm not really sure why, because this is just pure evidence, and same with Daredevil to a certain extent, that you can still do new things with this. And you can still keep testing the boundaries. And we are testing the boundaries. This show is living proof of that. And this is honestly an exciting vehicle of what we can do going forward. How we can use superheroes. What we can say with them. What we can do with them. I honestly think this show is a gateway of doing more chances with superheroes and telling more risky stories. And I'm excited to see where it's going to go. Hopefully good places. But anyway, that long tangent aside. And even this episode, it's tying more to what I was talking about in the last one, where it's testing, like, why Jessica Jones is doing this, what she hopes to gain out of it. And even then, it's like, because in her heart, she still wants to be a superhero. She still wants to believe that she's the person that can do the right thing. So when Hope makes us literally sacrifice herself to basically get rid of this idea and say, kill Kilgrave, he's way too dangerous, she says, like, she's kind of tossing that ideology aside, even though she still goes out of her way to save everyone else in that room. Even Robin. Fuck that bitch. I'm sorry. I know I should feel bad for her, but seriously, fuck her. She has done nothing to make her a likable person at any point in the show. Fuck her. But I digress. So I know I'm kind of rambling at this point, but this is just a really fucking fantastic episode. It's amazing how much they can... This is one of the shorter episodes. This is only 46 minutes long, and it's amazing what they can cram into here, and I'm super excited to see where this goes from here. So again, I'm going to stop talking. I'm just going to jump into the next episode, aka I've Got the Blues, which just based on the teaser image I've got now, looks like it's just going to be fucking going nukey. So it's gonna be great. I hope so anyway. As long as we're done with Robin, please tell me we're done with Robin, because that was like the one thing that stopped me from, like, even then she didn't stop me from really getting invested in this episode. But man, if it wasn't for the other shit in this episode, that would have really dragged this down for me. Anyway, so I'm gonna stop talking. We're going to the next episode. See you guys in the next episode, Jessica Jones.